Reserve time.
All right, everybody, welcome back into the Royal Arena. It is a two-game series between friends as well as Question Mark here on twitch.tv/moonducktv. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Mott, joined today by Mottpax Trent. We got a good one on our hands. This should be a great series between these two squads. How you feeling today, bud? Uh-oh. Trent. Hello. Trent. Are you okay? I can't hear you. That's probably on me. That is on me.
Do you not hear?
All right, we're good.
Hello?
Now. Hello.
Okay.
Trent.
Hey.
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. I was just I was saying I'm enjoying the nice weather before the snow comes, and but everyone gets to enjoy the snow when they come to Boston, because that's going to be pretty funny. I imagine there'll be some people that are going to be a little bit chilly.
Yes, indeed. Remaining. I mean, they're gonna get to Boston like, what is this? What is this on the ground? I don't.
Wait, what is happening?
It's really cold here. It's like people like dying in the streets because of how cold it is, and that it's actually kind of insane how warm it's been. I don't know if it was warm for you in Canada, but it was 82 degrees here 2 days ago. That's insane.
Well, we don't use those numbers, but I do know that's way hotter than it is here. So congratulations.
Listen,
that's pretty great.
Who uses Celsius, honestly? Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Well, friends, and now known as Question Mark, I believe, after they changed their name.
That is correct.
So, it's, yeah, I agree. Gonna be a good matchup. Drow Eye opener here, pretty telegraphed as to what you're gonna do. You can mix it up a little bit, go into some more late game stuff, but generally you want to be pretty wary of early game shenanigans coming out. And so friends answered from the Drow with the Keep of the Light and a Mirana. Already, you know, Caudle allows anyone to split push, which can be good up against a Drow lineup who wants to maybe move around the map quite a bit. You want to take some advantageous trades using that recall, and he also has that good early game D push. So I like it, friends. I think they're just kind of like answering what they see on the side of Question Mark and feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, this is I like the choices for friends here. I do like the opening from Question Mark. If you remember the last game we casted, Trent, I mean, it was about a week ago, but it was Kaipi versus Question Mark, the squad. Question Mark got absolutely dominated that first game. The second game, they did go for that IO tiny combination, and they did win with it, and they won rather handedly as well. So, obviously, they feel very comfortable with an IO pick. They don't go for the IO tiny right out, but they have a lot of room to work with. No tiny banned up by friends in that second ban phase. They have 30 seconds left to reserve time. Go for the Slaughter. Good hero to pair up with this IO as well, but also just good in general with, of course, the offlane having some nice disables as well. So, interesting choices. Do you think it's going to be the tiny combination for Question Mark, or are they going to go for something different here?
I think it's just going to be all-range Dota. Could see like a Queen of Pain with the OD being banned out. Just some of those mid-range heroes maybe don't get to see too often these days, but it can be so nice in a draft strat. With the Naga now out here,
10 seconds remaining.
pretty likely I would say that it's core, but of course everyone loves playing in position 4. But again, with the heroes that they currently have on the Radiant, it seems like a core Naga would make quite a bit of sense. That fourth hero of theirs for friends would just need to really be able to make that space in the mid game, make sure that the Radiant don't get crazy out of control. And now with the Lion, not the best early game kind of a pusher, good control for team fights and everything, but he's more kind of like the mid game focus as opposed to going in towards like a Pugna or something like that, right? So
yeah.
Maybe the clocks held off a little here from the side of the Radiant.
I mean, it feels like, though, if it does get to a late game, I mean, you have a Dagasar and you have a Keeper Light, I feel like you're probably in a good position if you're friends, whereas it feels fairly early game-centric. I mean, obviously, Drow Ranger's a better late-game hero than she used to be. It was like, oh, if you don't win in 30 minutes with Drow Ranger, the game's over. I mean, maybe it wasn't quite that way, but that's just how it felt.
Yeah, it definitely did.
So, I don't know. Their last pick is going to be coming out here. They have the Lion, they have the IO as the support duo. Drow Ranger more than likely in the safe lane, Slaughter more than likely in the off lane. They could pair Drow up with the IO and do some crazy shenanigans. But I imagine this is probably their mid laner. I might be wrong about that.
More than likely, yeah. There's not any nice IO +1 combinations that are ranged besides like Necrophos, unfortunately. So like, if you went for like an IO Bristleback in the mid lane, then you know you're not getting the advantage of the Drow Aura. So it's probably just going to be the solo mid laner here.
Yeah.
Again, Stormband out. So
you said Clop earlier. I like that choice actually.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
I've seen other ranged heroes that you don't necessarily see work. That is a hero that will certainly work. You get the added bonus damage from the precision aura. Not to mention you have a lot of burst. Meanwhile, friends will go for this Fen. And we don't really know who's going to be playing what for Friends right now and who's going to be in what position.
Should be Mirana mid, I think.
Yeah,
with that setup.
I think you are correct in that statement. We will wait and see, though. But getting down to it, Trent, how do you feel about these last 2 picks overall?
I think I like Friends. If the game does go late with this whole Tinker thing, then this position for Naga is just going to transition into getting bigger items, and she'll just become a 4th core on their team.
Yeah, it's got some early game sort of team fight lineups for both sides, but the capabilities for the late game are there for both teams now, especially with that Tinker coming out. I thought, they might go for a bit more of a pushing type hero with that mid laner. Instead, they go for the Tinker, which does take some time to get online, obviously. But when he does so, he can keep the lanes pushed out, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of split push happening here in this game, Trent. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, buckle up, folks. Might be here a while.
We'll see you guys in 70 minutes. All right, everybody break.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll just see where the state of the game at that point, pretty much.
All right, excellent. We waited 20 minutes and we get a pause right to start things off. It's great. It's great. I'm not upset.
Just
or
some
anything.
standard stuff.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for this game. I'm pretty excited for this 2-game series in general. I really like Friends and their play style, and I'm excited for Question Mark as well. I thought their series against Kaipi was very strong. Obviously, this Question Mark team has switched a lot of things up recently. They are not going to be playing. Well, actually, Ake was talking about how Horde is not going to be playing. Excuse me, for the major qualifier, which I thought was interesting because they lost one of their players already. So I can't remember.
Yeah, Kefka was already
Yes.
signed up for his team.
Yes, that's the one.
That's what it was.
Which is interesting. I think a lot of people are like, oh, Ake is going to be playing for the major. It's just not happening. But they have this team coming up for the Royal Arena, and I'm excited about what they can provide. But I think Friends is a very solid team, and this is going to be a tough matchup for them as they smoke and head down to the bottom lane already, looking for some initiation potential.
Yeah, this is going to be a really nice lane. Naga Siren is a fantastic support in any sort of aggressive tri-lane or defensive tri-lane. Chio puts a ton of damage using that Riptide. She's very tanky because you go poor man shields first, so she's looking to brawl, and they're just going to take over this entire Radiant side jungle. Batrider is one of, if not the best hero. Oh, wow, they actually got that net.
Snare, did you see that range on that thing? That's insane. The Illuminate will come out. This will certainly be your first blood. All right, that took a half a second longer than I expected it to, but No Fear threw that snare from halfway across the damn screen, Trent. What the hell?
I love that. Those longer cast animations can have that stuff happen sometimes.
It's like that Fiend's grip that you get and you're like a mile away from the person. You're like, yeah, that probably shouldn't have happened. I love that. I love that type of stuff.
Wow, yeah, I was like not even gonna mention the fact that it was even possible because of how far it was. But anyway, there you go. So Afterlife gets to be super happy on a Batrider. Oh, that ward gets spotted mid. That's nice.
They had the ward across the river, so that's getting dewarded at some point in time.
But yeah, Batrider should absolutely style on this slider. Good luck, Pwn. He's got himself a mango.
Stick. He has no stick. All right, well, he's gonna have to buy one really, really soon. But yeah, you're absolutely
It's not gonna be an easy life.
It will not. It will not be an easy life. Not for this Slardar, unfortunately. But we'll keep our eyes peeled here. Already two sticky napalm stacks. Meanwhile, this bottom lane is gonna be rather interesting. It's tri-lane versus tri-lane. Aggro try coming out, but with this Sven, Coddle, as well as a Naga. Some decent damage coming. The Illuminate will already go. Do some damage to the range creep, push out the creep wave faster. But you can see No Fear getting caught. Some right clicks. No Earth Spike coming in from Ake. Has yet to skill. This is a dangerous lane for both teams, really.
Yeah. Even despite being the aggressive position where it's a little bit harder to get full advantage of all the farm and everything, this is definitely going to favor the Dire. Drow oftentimes already has a little bit of trouble last hitting at the very beginning of the game, so they have the big damage up, especially under tower. So they can just pressure, push this in, force them under, throw out Coddle Blasts. Lion is really weak in tri-lanes compared to other supports at the earlier levels.
Yeah, that's the thing. And the good thing for the Radiant team is they don't have to deal with Riptide yet. But when that ability gets leveled up, it's going to be problematic here for this Radiant team. We'll wait and see how things progress, and this tri-lane is going to be very difficult for the Radiant squad, but they should be doing... Actually, I mean, you talk about the defensive tri-lane, you talk about the off-lane, which should not be going well for that Slaughter, and hold that thought, Ake, he's going to get tethered. There's Zero Spike going to go through the Warcry, Yoku is going to be able to get off that Stormhammer, and MTL is going to get caught, and looks like he will be killed instead of Ake. He gives his life up to save the Lion, unfortunately for him. And that will be the first
Afterlife
kill
went
on
for a
Travis.
pretty crazy dive top.
I saw his icon on the minimap just floating around there. He has 8 stacks up. Some serious damage coming through. 9 stacks now. Afterlife, you need to get the tower aggro off you. He might die to this. He has 13 HP and Pwn has 10 stacks, but Afterlife actually has to suicide. That was awkward. to say
Yeah,
the
he
least.
made a mistake. The first time he came in, he unintentionally got the aggro of the tower on top of him, and that's what totally messed up his entire plan. If that didn't happen, he wouldn't have taken 90% of his HP on the first dive, then he had to salve up and go for it again. So really cost him there.
Yeah, that actually is huge for the Slaughter. Gets him up to 8 last hits. I mean, yeah, he doesn't get the kill, obviously. If he got the kill, I thought, then that just might have been the biggest thing ever. But unfortunately, that doesn't go the way of the Slaughter. Still getting some good farm. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Earth Spike, always want to fly, is going to be okay. The Warcry getting him out with move speed. And Necroman not really able to do much with a level 2 Drow Ranger. So,
Meanwhile, Meta's just like, haha, Tinker, take some lasers. You know, when no supports can come in and help you out, it's never fun to lane up against a Tinker.
Tinker X.
Out bottom lane.
They're going in again, it looks like, and this time they will find Ake. Stormhammer already used good Fairy Fire to keep him alive. Meanwhile, Ake, or excuse me, Always Want to Fly, brought down Necroman. Now going to work on a Yoku. He's going to have to Warcry away. Still some good armor, but Necroman's just chunking him down at this point in time. Here comes the Riptide, though. They'll try to turn, no fear. They have the Stormhammer back up with the mana with the Mango. There it goes, and can they bring him down? Oh, they tether Fairy Fire. Is it going to be enough? He's so low, but not low enough. They don't have another Riptide for no fear. He's going to get brought to his knees with the tower hitting him, as well as that Frost Arrows coming up from Necroman. It's just not enough, and actually they get the 1 kill out of it. They don't lose anybody. Yes, they're all extraordinarily low. They'll avoid the Illuminate coming out from Always Want to Fly. He's back in the lane. He wants MDL. MDL will tether away. Ake will keep him alive. They're so low, Trent. They're barely
Yeah.
surviving.
And now with them both gone, Slaughter has to rotate in. Because they could theoretically just dive Necroman, knowing now the support can come help.
They scanned, thinking that someone was there. They threw an Illuminate out. Now Poe's going to find Yoku. Again, he has Warcry. Stormhammer will go. And Sprint is down now. It's down for another 4 seconds. Everybody's rotating in. Undershock is coming through. There's the Slithering Crush. They've riptided him. They've got the arrow, and it just will sail away a little too late. He needed to get there a half second earlier. He'll run into Pone. Starstorm is available. Almost enough damage. Getting the double proc coming through. The salve will come through as well. Pone will stay alive. There's a lot of action for nothing happening here.
Yeah, both rotations pretty much facilitated by the same thing. Naga, oh, look at that tether speed.
Yeah, she's more than likely dead. Some right clicks coming through. MDL might fall. They have the ensnare up. He'll Fairy Fire again. This time he will be brought down by Yoku. Undershock does have leap, but I don't know if they can bring him down. They have Earth Spike in 1. They'll back away. Yoku's chasing as well. Here's the leap forward. Stormhammer, long range at a Pone. Starstorm, no, the Earth Shock gets off. Pone gonna go for the Slithering Crush. He needs to back away. Ake's low as well. Undershock has a double damage. Air will hit Ake. He is at 45 HP. Undershock wants this kill, but he can't get it. Oh, it's happening. The Illuminate. Ooh, it almost hit Ake, but no such luck. That was an insane fight. That was like a 2-minute fight, Trent, that literally accomplished nothing, I feel like.
Yeah, every time it looked pretty even coming out at the end there, and well, even now we're still only 2 to 3 in terms of the kills. Mirana and Slaughter are both just leaving their lane, feeling like they could have a bigger impact in the skirmishes down bottom than they would against the people who they're faced with. They're probably not wrong, especially the Slaughter. You know, it's just a hard knock life. He didn't get too much experience down bottom, so now he's coming back into a lane with an almost level 7 Bat Rider, and he'll pretty much be back down bottom pretty soon.
After I was like, you're not diving that tier 2 tower, are you? That would have been a little
Yeah,
crazy.
that's not a thing.
Yeah. But while they were down bottom, you're right, Arizena's Tinker has just farmed up a Storm 35 CS, obviously a free farm lane. Meanwhile, back bottom, MDL tethering away, but he does get hit with the Stormhammer. Illuminate will go, and they just need a couple more right clicks or a little bit more damage. The Ensnare will come through, and MDL will certainly fall finally after they tie up the tier 1 tower. Necroman chasing after this Keeper of the Light, but No Fear's coming in with another Ensnare ready to go. Stormhammer is back up off cooldown. He's got the mana for it, and boom, there it goes. They'll try to bring Necroman down as mid lane action is going to happen. The Bat Rider helps get the kill on the Tinker. Another Ensnare will fly out. Yoku will find the kill with the help of No Fear getting it done with the Riptide. He gets the last hit.
What a disaster.
Wow, that was
This
crazy.
all comes out because of Ake's rotation. Ake had the right idea because the Bat Rider was diving the Slaughter at top, right? And so the Bat Rider, you knew he was going to rotate into the mid lane on the Tinker. You saw he's level 7. You saw the positioning of your Tinker. So Ake stays in the mid to try and guard up his Tinker to make sure he'll be fine. But then those dives start happening down bottom. Slider can't rotate down, so then Ake starts running, and the moment he leaves his Tinker, then the Batrider shows up. So in the end, his whole rotation there to support does absolutely nothing, and he loses both his lanes.
That's just unfortunate. I
Yeah,
don't really
it's
think
just
that's
the
any fault
timing.
of his own. Yeah, it really just comes down to timing and maybe some vision, but that's about it. And he's only level 3, too. It's not like he's getting the most experience. He's sitting mid right now, but obviously he's splitting that up with his Tinker. The Tinker does fall, like you talked about. Cutting through the tree line, Yoku's about to spot Pwn, or vice versa, I suppose. He's about to get Slithering Crush. They don't have amp damage. They're very close. The Gust will come through. The Ensnare's out. Yoku's getting low. He's got Warcry at 11. Stormhammer to turn around and use it. He will. The Frost Arrow's doing a good job. One more right click. No, it's not enough, but Pwn will chase and get the kill with a Slithering Crush. And he will get up his level 6 as well. Now his amp damage is ready to go, and they finally bring down that Sven, who had a dominating spree, and he gets dropped to his knees.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice recovery for Pwn. We all know, amplify damage, pretty big part of Slider. Pretty important to draw a line up top. Oh, what a haste.
Wow.
That would have been nice.
Oh, they Moonlight Shadow, though. As there's another hero getting chased, it's always going to fly who has amplified damage. Dear Lord, that damage from the Slithering Crush melted him, pretty much. They are going to try to chase after somebody. Arrow's going to come through. MDL will dodge it swiftly, but he still will take more than enough damage to get brought down by Undershock. They're looking for a Stormhammer. They're going to find it. They have Lasso. Meanwhile, there's the laser. They have heat-seeking missiles. No, it's on cooldown. They have the Marching Machine instead. They'll bring Pona to the high ground, at least try to. He's so low. One more right-click the Ensnare will at least allow him to stay in one place and get brought down by the rest of the Dire squad. Pretty close to actually surviving due to the high ground miss, but he's going to fall.
Well, it's a bit of a bloodbath here.
Yeah, it's a barn burner. I was actually just going to say.
It's gonna be interesting to see like how much of a differential will grow here by the time we get into like a mid game. At this point, it is about a 2K lead for the Dire, which makes sense just because the Batrider Slider matchup is just so lopsided in comparison to like the Tinker Mirana. Like Mirana can get a little bit more firm, and her rotations are probably gonna be more effective. I mean, support Slider is kind of a thing, so you can understand how he does get some sort of an impact going. Oh, look at this! He can just blind and tick down the ward. Oh, no, he's got the illusions though.
That was a smart play by No Fear. As the blind animation went, he's like, mirror images.
Yeah, he's like, what can you do?
Nothing there.
Oh, Pwn. He's getting always want to fly up top.
No, not again. Keep the light. You don't have blinding light. Oh, if he had blinding light, it'd be much better.
Yeah. It might take 2 more hits.
Oh! He actually gets away. Speedy keeping the light. Not dying this time. And everybody else is high. Oh, Ake really wants this kill. He really wants this kill. He wants to put a ward down first as well. Undershock is going to come through with this point booster, by the way.
Oh, God. Okay, wrong neighborhood.
They don't see him.
Please don't see me.
Oh, they see him now. Can they get to him in time? I don't know. Arrow? Drum charge popped. Ake's pretty low already. Illuminate. Gonna hit him. Fairy Fire comes through. There's the Hex up. The Firefly is still going, burning him to death as the Frog walks in front of Ake. Meanwhile, at the bottom rune spot, No Fear is going to get chunked down. They have the IO with the spirits going through. There's the heat-seeking missiles. That should bring him down. One more right-click, it will. They even had the spirits break the infused raindrop so that Mr. XXX, aka Arise, can get the job done.
That's what you get for stealing IO's DD rune.
Take that, Naga.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, all right, so Trent, right now looking at the game, this Sven is doing pretty well. He's got a Helm of the Dominator. They're about to start stacking up Ancients here. This is looking like Friends are kind of, despite a couple of deaths here and there, they're firing on all cylinders at this point in time. They have the top 3 in net worth. Even the Tinker was having a great start. Not doing as well as he once was here, Trent.
Yeah, I mean, top 3 heroes, all Dire. So the Drummer's build comes out from the Batrider. He can move into a Blink. And by the time he has his Blink Dagger done, the overall farm on the Sven's going to be so nice that he can pair up pretty well with that. Should have the Echo Saber finished up, you would imagine. And they'll just be able to lasso, blow someone up, and Sven gets into his own Blink Dagger. And the whole time Undershock will be like creating space for him to get into his Aghanim Scepter. Life's looking pretty good for Dire side heroes. The question will be, what can Pwn do in combination with probably Ake now that he is level 6 as they get Undershock in the mid? This is a great use of the finger.
Song immediately. No Fear was waiting for it. They went right on top of Undershock, and they'll have to... They're actually going to try to turn this. Ake is going to get arrowed up. There's the Riptide, Flame Break, and Snare. Pretty tanky with that Tether up, but still about to fall with the Lasso, as well as the Starstorm. Coming in from the side was Pwn, decided against going in, realizing that might not be the best play, and they'll find another kill for themselves and more space created up in this top lane for Yoku and really across the map on this Dire side.
That's a great save by No Fear. Like, they need those plays coming out. Got to get a couple kills here. Got to get some gold stacked up. And like Slardar just wants to be fighting right now. He wants to be interrupting the farming patterns of friends. He wants some help from his supports. They want this Tinker to be able to start like botsing in places, and he's still like 350 gold away from those.
He will have it soon, though, assuming he doesn't die. Just...
Oh, they spot Necroman bottom, and he is in the wrong spot.
Good God.
Oh, hey, why don't you just W him, Batrider? Am I right? Aha!
So much for that.
Yeah.
That was a nice little swift play. Pretty good silence. They'll try to split push for this bottom lane. Not really split push, they're together as a team. But Yoku, in the meantime, is about to get chased down by Ake. Tether move speed, but Warcry, it's the real ability.
Structures are fortified.
Yoku's got that move speed. He's ready to go. No blink daggers yet for anybody on the Radiant side, obviously. Some good vision here in the jungle, but that will not get the kill this time around. And they will lose this tier 1 tower. The tier 1 tower top lane is pretty much full health here for this Dire side. So very good trade for the Friends side. And it's only going to provide more net worth for this squad.
Yeah, this vision is going to be really important for them, though. Typically, this is where, like, I would see some people complain and say this is too aggressive warding, but that's not really how Dota works anymore. Zioku's being gone on.
And it's another aggressive ward. And this time they do bring this Fen down. He does buy his Oblivion Step before he dies. But...
And this is why, though, because the Radiant side get this jungle. That's kind of how it works now. Like, the Dire are going to be controlling this whole side of the map. They want the Radiant side jungle and Roche control. They always want to fly. Okay, TPs are coming. We got Power Ranger
this
action.
might be a big fight. Looks like Pone's just going to die here. They have the blinding light going. Pone really wants this kill. He will get the Slithering Crush off, but not onto Always Win a Fly, trying to get out. There's the last going through. They have Starstorm ready, as well as the arrow if need be. Not needed, though. Well, it's only the Starstorm that will provide the kill as the Radiant team progress their way through the midnight. It's actually a really good point what you were talking about, because you mentioned this this line down the middle last time we cast, and I completely agree with you. This is how it kind of works.
Yeah.
The enemy team stick the enemy jungles. You farm the enemy jungle. You try to take your ancient stack as well. You give them their ancient stack. It's kind of interesting how the map and map control works in Dota right now.
Yeah, that's certainly the best or the most common patterns that we're seeing. Like, it's so much easier for Dire to come down here that it's actually like you can create this as your own sort of safe haven as the Radiant and force the Dire to come up these ramps, and it gets harder.
Right, that does require vision, however, and that's why you see the Radiant warding as much as they are. And there's no
Always want to
Dire
fly. It's
vision
got
here.
this though.
Yeah, boom, easy D ward. He got 2 of them. He needs the third one here. He's like, there's no way they have 3 wards in our jungle.
Yeah.
Ooh, Yoku getting a gigantic stack. This is hurting, but with Warcry as well as his Helm of the Dom and 1 Oblivion Staff, he'll be able to take it down, get up to 1,300 gold, finish off this Echo Saber. It gets very
How
low.
many stacks was that if he took that much damage?
4 or 5, I believe.
Yeah, it must have been 5.
So that's a lot of gold going his way. I mean, he was probably at like 200 gold or 300 or 400 gold before buying that Ogre Club, and now he's got that plus an extra 800 in the bank as well. So, and not only that, they were pushing bottom, and they defended that tier 1 tower's bottom as well too.
Yeah, and Blink's now up on Afterlife. His lasso just came off cooldown. There's that Echo Saber, and then we're already now 900 golden towards his own Blink, assuming that's what he's going to want this game.
Yep. He can go for a DTB early for Yoku, but we'll wait and see what he does purchase up on this Fen.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Undershock's still not with his... Oh, all right. As I say that, he gets his Aghanim Scepter. I was like, well, where is that? And everybody on the Radiant team really doesn't have any items. You have Boots of Travel, you have an Ogre Club coming out, or almost a Dragonlance for Necroman, but that's about it. This advantage is starting to really pick up for Friends. And
they're not going to see this at all. They have no vision over here.
Yep. So this is a great time to smoke for Friends, and we'll see if they can find a pickoff. If it's only Ake, that's a small price to pay here. And they do get the scan right on top of him, but it's not really the hero they want to go for. Inevitably, they might find him. The arrow will sail through. Ake probably knows something is up, but he will get lassoed and brought down. Again, not the biggest target in the world, but it does lead them right into a tier 1 tower, which is going to provide them some extra gold going their way, Trent.
Yeah, that's fine. Top tower is full HP, and it's only a Tinker up there, so not a lot of pressure being forced on it. Just a free tower, and 1 more tower that's going to help keep the Radiant further away from Roche. Probably the best recovery that they could have right now would be taking that the Slardar and the Drow, sneaking on in there, and grabbing up that Aegis. It's not like they'll be able to fight even if they did that, but at least they're denying it from the Dire side and getting some gold for themselves. And the question is, do the Dire feel like, yeah, I guess Afterlife saying, you know what, I think we should take this, just so they can't smoke in and take it in like 40 seconds, because that would be
They had
pretty
that
obnoxious.
exact same thought process you had, Trent. They're like, we don't want to give this up. We're going to make sure they're not smoking and taking this at any point in time. And they immediately rotated top, too. You saw a couple of TPs come out there. Obviously, they have Boots of Travel on the Tinker, so they're going to keep this pressure on the tier 1 tower. They're going to know no one is up here. No one's defending this. Tinker's going to bots in. He'll just drop the march down. He'll blink away. They might not even be able to take this tower, it looks like.
No.
They were not.
Oh, Undershock could make plays here.
Starstorm. Oh man, Arise is in trouble. Gets blown away. The double damage coming through with the Starstorm. Meanwhile, they don't get the amp damage up. Pwn does get the Slithering Crush off, and the March of the Machines was doing some decent work, but Undershock will survive. He's got the Aegis. He just picked up that Aghanim Scepter and 1,200 gold, and the biggest thing is that Rise is not farming anymore on this Tinker.
Yeah, at least he has his blink, I suppose. Now, he probably would have lived. That was up right there.
That's something. He did use it, and then it was on cooldown, unfortunately. But I mean, it just feels like the Radiant team, they're a little too far behind now. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back. Necroman is doing his damage with this Dragonlance, looking to go for the Hurricane Strike next, I would imagine. Meanwhile, I think if you're friends, you probably just start taking down towers now one by one. I don't really think there's much else. You could go for a pick with a Blink Dagger Lasso if you'd like. They've got about everything they need, I feel like, Trent, for a mid-game push here.
Yeah. It's kind of an awkward game from the Radiant side because of what happened to Pwn. Like, he wasn't able to be a Slardar, and the only way this draft works is if they have a Slardar. Like, he couldn't get the right timings going on with his Blink Dagger. He wasn't able to be aggressive. There wasn't... at the same time, the lack of early bots really hurt them too, because we've seen so many teams operate this, like, really aggressive offlaner into Tinker, like, held by bots and on the wave at the same time as you Blink Crush. This is a song up top, a setup on Necroman.
Yeah,
all right,
MDL.
MDL, no pressure. Look at Nofir looking for the relocate save.
He's actually, like, he knows. MDL's going to try for it. Look at that tether long range, but oh no, MDL, it was a good effort. You are still going to get brought down very quickly with the help of friends coming in. They absolutely blow up those two heroes. Pwn was watching and he's like, I can't do anything about that. He just walks away. And for good reason.
Man, friends look great.
Yeah, they look really good.
They're not making any mistakes in these like mid-game engagements. Every time they know like where the heroes are going to be, they're even just that play on Ake in the mid lane where they're... Oh, wow. Speaking of Ake.
Undershock does have an Aegis. Ake is going to get that Earth Spike off. No mana for a finger. There's the Aegis gone. Last one on the low ground. Arise is here now, going to work. They have the recall and Afterlife. They're like, you need to get out of there. The arrow's going to come through. Pwn's going to get caught. And they've actually left Undershock on his own here. He will get the kill and then end up getting the Moonlight Shadow off. Do they not have detection? They do not have any detection.
That's a Coddle provided kill steal right there. That's
Undershock. Oh, he's going for Ake. Oh, the stick charge is actually going to keep him alive, and Undershock being a little too aggressive. Is he getting recalled? He is not. They've caught him. He has no more laser, and they will bring him down. He's trying to style on the man. Jesus.
Yeah. Ake was waiting, I guess. Pretty quick on the fingers there on the magic wand. So
yeah,
nice
that
save.
Was a great stick usage. That's why you buy Magic Wand, ladies and gentlemen. That type of thing. That's nuts. So they'll take the tier 2 tower. Top lane is the off lane tier 2 tower. Not that big of a deal. Pwn almost gets the Slithering Push on Yoku. Does blink out of it just in time. And that will be the end of the push. They try to get something out of it from the Radiant side. And, well, at least they got the kill on the Mirana, I guess, Trent. But that's about all that's going well for this Radiant team right now. Question mark.
Yeah, they have 4 minutes until it's going to be daytime. Aghanim Scepter will be up on Always Want to Fly by then. And the toughest of times will have arrived, I would say, because there'll be a BKB more than likely finished up for our Sven. We have the Force Staff, so Batrider can do the full grab and run away play.
Well, here's the good news for the Radiant team. You do have March of the Machines. Very hard to push into that. Also, you have Yoku being caught and a relocate gank. He's in trouble. He doesn't have BKB. He's going to buy it, or at least try to.
There we go. This is what we wanted.
That's a huge kill. The first relocate gank of the game, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what you're looking at with this kind of a draft. With like your Slardar and that early game aggression, you can just bring in the Drow to like clean up. Generally, you can get the kill before the Drow's even there, but then you can bring them in if you need to take the fight. So we saw stuff Afterlife, perhaps looking for a blink there mid, but gets tagged up by the March Machine, so we can't go in.
Yeah, despite losing a hero or two, friends are still being aggressive. They're not giving too much away. Those kills really don't provide that much in terms of net worth. You look at the graph, there's still a 10,000 net worth advantage for friends, and they have just about every item to make this game complete, short of Yoku's BKB. Mech is now up for no fear. You already talked about the Aghanim Scepter up for the Super Light, Always Want to Fly. They'll go for a Moonlight Shadow again, but they're not really setting up for anything. Afterlife is looking for a target down bottom, but there's no TPs coming through. Everybody's kind of off from that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That's interesting. Anyway, they'll back up and reset and start farming again. Again, more map control. All right, always want to fly. You've been caught in a bad spot, and he does go down. That's like the third time this has happened in the past couple of minutes or something. Not just him, but the friends in general.
Yeah, Radiant, like, they've seen them run now a couple times up top, so I think they feel pretty comfortable just being 5 in their jungle. In this case, 4, and then just, like, Tinker relocating in and whatnot using these bots, but... it's well played here. They're defending, they're guarding it up, and Friends was close to even Afterlife was close to overextending and getting himself killed. But we just have, like, Mirana split pushing here, Bat split pushing here.
They're keeping the lanes pushed out. I mean, this is not an easy task against a Tinker, especially. I mean, you just see him TP to a lane, throw out a march. It's hard to keep these lanes pushed in. But they have picked up the BKB for the spend. We'll see how they want to progress here in these next couple of moments. Do they want to push in? Do they want to wait for the next Roshan, which is going to be a while? Potentially at least 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I think they want to get this tower down before daytime and before Roche, and then they want Roche and daytime to go high ground, because the Aghanim Scepter is actually almost up on our Tinker here, and that is really obnoxious when you're pushing.
Yeah. You will not be able to push high ground. You don't get a kill on Tinker.
Like, you need BKB at that point, like, active to hit buildings.
Arrows coming through, it's a little short. Afterlife looking for a target. He'll find MDL, the perfect one. Necroman getting blown away, but nice hex up onto Yoku. There's the Hurricane Pike, not really doing that much damage. There's the BKB, looking for more. They're trying to find a target. Ake will be the first after MDL. Song will cancel Necroman's TP. Pwn as well. Starstorm coming through. He might get out. He will, but Yoku does blow away that Drow Ranger, and they'll find 3. And they say, screw the objective, we want to get some kills. The Tinker would have been the best target to bring down, but now they have an open avenue towards this top lane if they want to go for it, or they can continue to try to push mid.
Yeah, and they have botsing, blinking, Miranda to keep up with the Tinker too. Should be able to deny this tower if he'd like. And
alright.
Geez, that's the first time this whole game we've seen the whole Caudle Drow interaction. The other part where, like, being up against the Drow lineup, you get to have the blinding light.
Yeah.
Super beneficial, considering her biggest balancing factors, how much right-click damage she has to the whole team, and you get to reduce that very heavily to keep it the light. So, like the first time he's got to do anything with it, though.
Yeah, that was like one of the first big team fights I've seen. I wouldn't really call it a team fight, call it more of a massacre, but yeah, that's a good point. Always want to fly the mid lane. Has a Gem of True Sight, by the way, so they have just about every item going for them. They don't get anything done in terms of tower damage, tier 3s, tier 2s. They're kind of just splitting up the map. It is daytime now, and Roshan will find out when it is up momentarily as Afterlife has been spotted out. Relocate coming in. Afterlife in a lot of trouble, is absolutely dead. It's a mega kill spree that is ended and goes the Tinker's way. Some extra gold from him. His Aghanim Scepter is now done on top of that. Roche respawn is max duration, by the way, throwing that out there.
Oh, that was really nice by the Radiant. Being able to find that now that, like, the Aghanim Scepter is up, like, that could have been so much worse, because they can just 5-man at this point. The vision is absolutely absurd for Friends. They can, like, just 5-man into objectives, split and farm, and the only way Question Mark have a chance here is they have to catch you when you're split and going for those, like, one-man farm plays, so nicely done there.
Arrow hits Pwn. They actually get the arrow predicting where the Tinker was going to be, but rather they get the Slaughter instead. That's unfortunate. That might be one of the most unfortunate things I've ever seen. He's just like, yeah, I'm totally fine here. And then he gets arrowed seemingly out of nowhere. Just because the Tinker was supposed to TP in. Good stuff.
Now they're right where they want to be. They can send the Sven creep into the Roche pit soon, maybe after the stack, and then they just keep an eye on it, see when it respawns, and control up the Radiant side jungle.
Tier 2 tower is becoming a nuisance for this Friends squad. They'd really like to take that down. But it's very tough to get to at this point. Yoku getting his Daedalus here pretty soon. His Chrysalis already up. Bottom lane is pushing in. Tinker's doing his best to push out top. Now we'll have to push out bottom here. So it starts taking some chip damage on the tower. We've kind of hit that point, that lull, but it looks like they might finally go for something. Although they do Moonlight Shadow on top of an Observer Ward, which is unfortunate. They're...
Oh wow, Radiant are so far gone right now, though.
Yeah,
like, it's gonna take a while for them to set up.
They saw that Moonlight Shadow. I'm almost positive they're gonna get the last one to arise. That is bad. He does not have buyback if he gets caught out, and he will be dropped, dead for 60 seconds. And the creep wave is pushing at bottom.
Doing this play or something.
Yeah. That was the play they made last time with the Smoke of Deceit coming out mid, I guess, with Friends. But actually, they made that play twice, I believe, the Friends going from mid to top or bottom to top. But now they have to push into the tower. And you do
They
look
have
at the
to
rating
trade.
team.
They have no choice.
Yeah, they're going to have to try to trade here. There should be a glyph available for the Dire team, and there's already one hero back home. That is the Mirana with the Starstorm ready. Doesn't really hit towers that well, so she could just sit back and use her Starstorm. They could even send Always Want to Fly back. Meanwhile, the tier 3 tower top lane taking some damage with the glyph is gone. They've already lost the melee racks. They're going for more, it looks like. For some reason, Yoku's just going to go and buy something. They're going to song, they're going to TP, they're going to set this up. Can they get something out of this? They've gotten 2 caught. MDL has the relocate ready to go if he can get it off in time, but still about to get dropped. There's the Stormhammer stopping him from getting away, and Necroman is in trouble as well. Hurricane pikes himself on the high ground, but Yoku ready with a Blink Dagger. Gets up to there and gets the job done. Meanwhile, bottom, they do finish off the melee racks. It is a half health ranged racks as well, so Friends getting the much better trade out of that. Not losing anything, Trent.
Nope, really nicely done. I think Rainy did all they could do. I mean, you're already at a deficit in terms of overall net worth. Specifically, those 4 heroes that you're Tinker, right? Like, he's the guy who's carrying most of the money. And you can't try and come back and set up against Naga. There's just no way that's going to work. Like, you're going to get songed. One person's going to get, like, blinked on by the Sven, who just dies before the rest of them are there. It's going to be total chaos. So, that no fear play with the that TV back over the song already going was pretty sick, though.
Yeah, that was nifty as hell. They coordinated that very well. That's just... It's fun to watch when you see stuff like that. And now they have an open access to Roche, obviously. They'll take that. Meanwhile, Tinker will do his damage to split push after getting that 8th lane. So again, buyback status is pretty minimal here for a lot of the Radiant heroes. You have one of the Slaughter and one of the IO. Not the biggest heroes. And so I think very soon you will see the Dire team pushing into this Radiant base.
Yeah, just the last tower remaining. See who grabs this. Does Yoku get it? No.
Undershock.
Back to Undershock. I was gonna say, I mean, what does Yoku really want to draw? Too rich.
Yeah, he is very wealthy. You can arguably drop the Helmet Dominator. You don't really need that, but... Oh, he's good.
Well, Undershock's working on Lincolns now.
Yeah, he's not going to die very easily. He's got the Lincolns. He's not even working on it anymore.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Just the Perseverance was left.
He's got it ready to go. They'll push into the tower as the Lincoln Sphere should fly out to Undershock. Actually, he's got it already. Okay, he's good to go. Like Dagger up as
Sneaky
well.
keep of the light plays, it seems.
Yeah,
That he, using that recall TP.
that's true. I did notice it. I was like, it is nighttime, by the way, so something to keep in mind. They don't have to keep the light active. He's really running. Undershock and crew. They're going to wait for the next group wave. Tinker will push up bottom. This is where it gets a little frustrating, perhaps, for the Dire team. They have to play it slow. They don't want to get caught out by the Tinker. Again, he talked about his actives after his Aetherlings as well. He does some serious damage. They have BKBs up. At least on the Sven. They will smoke up, and immediately the smoke is broken. Yoku. But there's going to be forced that Blink Lasso, and Arise is in trouble again. About to get caught. Good Slithering Crush, but they saw him to set up more. They do have the buyback up into Arise ready to go. He'd rather not have to use it. Ake's about to get caught. There's the buyback coming through. Pwn gets Body Light back up to the high ground. Here comes Arise throwing out one heat-seeking missile. Will not do nearly enough. Necroman is split pushing top. They want to get this Rage Rack's bottom. They're about to get it with no issues whatsoever. Laser will come through. Stormhammer, nice blink from Arise to get out of trouble. Yoku gets X'd up. They're about to get another Rax here, but the blind keeps going from these lasers, doing a lot of damage left to back up together. And they won't get the range Rex. They'll be close to getting it, but it's just not there yet until it finally goes down to the creeps as they get into the base.
Ake denied it.
That's...
What a boss.
Sometimes you just gotta deny your racks. That's the type of game this is. And Afterlife's in the tree line. And he has some very good vision. Although they will sentry one of them. He blinks further into tree line. They've got Moonlight Shadow. They're setting up for something. They have the Daedalus for the Sven. They're going to continue to push it. They can recall Undershock here relatively shortly. They're already doing it. Necroman is outside of the base. He seems to know something is amiss. They drop the ward down. He Shadow Blades away. He kills the ward. They find the lasso. They jump in Slithering Crush, but Necroman is going to get caught. Relocate not in time. He's got buyback Stormhammer. Ake's going to be next. It's a double kill coming out for Undershock. Arise continues to laser and heat-seeking missile. It does a lot of damage. That is the danger of this Tinker, but they still will lose 2. As Undershock goes back and almost finds MDL. Another heat-seeking missile. He still has that Aegis ready to go. It will fly a third
Oh,
time.
no.
He blinks away, but here comes Yoku. Gets a rise down for 80 seconds. And that will be with no buyback. In fact, GG is called, Trent.
Yeah, just I think just better lane setup from Friends made this game so much harder for the Radiant side. Like, they were gonna have to battle back. They had to get something going on that Slardar, but he itemized for a lane, then he's one-on-one against a Fat Rider, so he tries to make plays down bottom. And he was close to a couple different kills. Maybe some of those went a little bit better. He could have snowballed into something to get him going earlier on in the game, or maybe some higher levels up in the line would have allowed them to rotate a little bit earlier, but yeah, they weren't able to help out the mid lane too much, so they couldn't like get Tinker into dominating status. They weren't able to stack a bunch of camps for him, so we didn't have a super early blink bots or anything like that to pair up with the Slardar. Everything was just like a couple minutes behind on the side of Question Mark, whereas Friends were, you know, they just won their lanes, other than mid, of course, but Mirana made good rotations down bottom. And the game looked pretty flowcharty for them. They just kind of did what felt right at every moment, and it was never really interrupted.
They just had these check marks. They had to just check box and just check everything off when they got it. All right, we got Roche. Okay, we got the kill on the Tinker. Okay, we got our BKB. All right, let's go. So, very impressive performance coming out from Friends here in this first game. It is a 2-game series, so it is not over yet. We'll see how Question Mark performs in game number 2. With that said, we are done here with Royal Arena for this game. We'll take a quick break. We'll jump into game number 2. Before we do leave, make sure you guys check out both GameLeap.com as well as the Instagram for Royal Arena for potential giveaways, so make sure you guys check that out as well. With that said, we'll take a quick break. See you guys for game number 2.